YouTube family. Oh my gosh, I'm having such trouble this morning. Hey, good morning and happy Thursday to you guys. Happy crappy hour to all of you. I was getting ready to do this. And I don't know if this will work. It says rotate device is, oh, my rotate device is locked for some reason. That's why I can't do this in landscape. Hey John, how are you doing? Oh, I'm trying to figure out, you guys, what's going on here. Okay. Usually I do this streaming in landscape, so this portrait thing is throwing me off a bit. Danielle, good morning. Good to see you. Hey, you guys. So I have a pretty cool topic for us today. It is how this one narcissistic game can ruin our life. Yeah, really stinks. It's not something I want us ever to get caught up in. And it's something that the narcissist plays on us, and it ruins us while we're with them. But then once we get away from them, we continue to play this game that we learned from them. So this is why I want to talk about this. Hey, Shirley, blessed day. Yes, and agriculturist, good to see you. So, hey, Diva R, good to see you. Good morning. So you guys, for those who are coming on and are not familiar with Happy Crappy Hour, hey, Crystal, good to see you. So happy to see all of you guys coming on. And somebody new, Panther Queen, good morning. Good to see you. So if you're new to Happy Crappy Hour, what we do and what I try to do, I don't always achieve this, is we talk about what good thing happened this week, right? That's our happy. That if it's something we did that worked and it helped our life, it was good for us, good for our improvement, whatever. And we want to keep doing it. That's why we talk about it. So, and then if the crappy is something that happened this week that, just we don't want to do again. We messed up or something happened that just kind of threw our day into a spin or whatever. And we learn, okay, how do we react to that? And how do we make better choices from that? So that's why we do Happy Crappy Hour, to learn from these things, learn from our own experiences and from each other's experiences. Hey, Donna, good to see you. She says, hi, it's not a good game, but I guess who's going to be laughing in the end? Yeah, I'll tell you what the game is that they play. Matrona, good to see you from Australia. Wow. So probably good evening to you. I don't know. Are we in what time zones are we in? Diva says, I'm glad I made it today. Yeah, I am too. Good to see you. And Crystal Jean, yay. You're listening. I'm doing yard work. Don't know if I'll be commenting much, but love you all. Oh, that's great. And Free Spirit, another new person. Hi, hello, also from Australia. Wow. Love my Australia listeners. That's so cool. Thank you guys for joining us. Well, let me get to the topic. It is called the blame game. Yes, that is the game that the narcissist plays with us, right? They, because they don't ever take responsibility for their own actions. They don't take responsibility for what happens to them or anything. They don't take responsibility for their own feelings. That's another thing, right? They think that their feelings are based on what you do. So you are at fault if they're feeling bad. We're at fault if they're frustrated. We're at fault if they are late. We're at fault for everything, right, that they do. We're at fault if they feel insecure. We're at fault if they are feeling sad. We're at fault, right? So it's that blame game. And we're going to talk a bit about that today. And the reason for that is because sometimes we carry on that blame game even after we leave the narcissist. And I want to show you what that looks like. I've had some experiences recently I want to share with you. But let me catch up with a few others who are coming on. Matrona, good to see you. It's 1:07 a.m. Oh my. Oh my, so that's in Australia. Okay, well, so glad that you made it. And You know, oh my gosh, I hope you get some sleep tonight. Luckily, this is only an hour long stream, so it'll be a really great time for us to catch up, and it won't keep you up too much longer. Donna Wilkins, hi. Yes, the blame game. Diva says we are responsible for their delusional feelings. Yes, it's true. Mike Smith, good to see you again. 116. My narc always plays the blame game on me. Yep. And they continue. Even after your relationship is over, they will continue to play this blame game because they cannot see how they are responsible for whatever situation they are in. They cannot see that they have choices. They think that all they have is reaction. Like, I'm just reacting to you. So if you aren't like this, then I would not be reacting this badly. And if you watched some of my recent videos, it has, you know, I've been doing some crime videos recently, or, you know, talking about criminal narcissists, and to show why, you know, not why, but to show their characteristics, like when they're behaving like a narcissist, when they're abusive and when they're blaming and when they're deflecting responsibility, and when they see that they're justified in the crimes that they commit against others, you know, and these are murders. You know, we're not talking about, well, I stole from them. No, they outright destroy another person, and they feel justified because they don't take responsibility. It is the end game of the blame game, is to destroy the other person. And that will hurt us, of course, right? It can destroy us physically, but definitely emotionally. As we stay with the narcissist, we become less and less of ourselves. We lose our identity. We lose our worth. So that's why it's so important right now to talk about this blame game. And first of all, not to allow the narcissist to take over our life and blame us for everything in their life. You know, growing up, I'll share this with you. Growing up, I was raised by a narc parent. And I remember one day, I think I was probably 11. I don't remember exactly, but you know, after all of her criticism, all of her anger towards me, I finally just burst out and I said, "Okay, you're right. I'm responsible for everything. You know, everything is my fault." And I remember bursting out like that, and I did this in front of my family, my other parent, you know, my dad and my sibling, and they were all like kind of surprised at me. But this is what I carried. This is what victims of narcissists carry. We carry guilt. We carry responsibility for everything that happens around us that we're not responsible for, but we feel guilty for it. And because the narcissist will blame us. And this happens absolutely in romantic relationships as well, because the narcissist will, and I've had narcissist friends who will blame, oh my gosh, it's just so crazy how they just blame everybody else and never look at their own responsibility, their own actions, their own reaction. Those are their choices, but they don't see it that way. Hey, you guys, let me see a few comments here. I want to get you guys caught up a bit. Have you been able to keep it up? Is it possible? Oh, wait, that must be a response to somebody else. My narc always plays the blame game on me, says Mike. Yeah. Donna says, yep, all of that and so much more. Donna says, does it ever stop? The blame game? No, because you know what? In the future, the narcissist, even if you're not together anymore, the narcissist is complaining to their new supply about you, about us, right? About why their life turned out the way it did. It was our fault. And if they're frustrated at their new supply, it's because of us, because they were frustrated from something we had done years ago that's upsetting them now, and that's why they're taking it out on the new supply. So you see, that blame game continues even when we're not in the picture anymore. But the good news about that is we're not in the picture anymore, right? We're not there to even experience this. Unfortunately for the new supply, they're experiencing this. At first, the narc's going to blame their exes for everything. So the new supply feels safe. The new supply is going to feel like, well, not my fault, and they wouldn't blame me because it's all their ex's fault or their family's fault or whoever's fault, right? Their friend's fault. But then the narc's going to start turning it around onto the new supply, because the new supply is going to be around to take it. And the narc, when they get frustrated or upset or feel bad or guilt, yeah, they do feel like this pang of guilt, but they don't like it. So that's why they have to deflect it and project it onto somebody else. And guess who they're going to project it onto? Whoever's nearby, right? The new supply. That's why I say the new supply is doomed. I have a video out there that says, it's called Why the New Supply is Doomed. It's because, and I'll put a link to it in this video later on, but yeah, because the new supply is receiving everything that you received. It may not look like it at the beginning because the narcissist is holding back, but when the narcissist gets comfortable enough, and that could happen within a week, they will start to unleash onto the new supply. Hey, you guys, let me see what else. Diva says, yes, Donna, I am thriving and doing great now. I discarded the ex-narc over 14 months ago and never broke no contact. Yes, I'm so proud of you about that, Diva R. So many people are, we're all tempted at some point to break no contact, but to choose not to break it. That's really wise and really strong of you. And you see Donna says, well done. You're a good-hearted person who is so much better. Elena or Elena, good to see you. You are right. He used to blame me for everything. I know. And that's the real toxic thing. One of the reasons why narcissists feel justified in abusing people is because they don't feel they're responsible. They're not responsible for what they do, because they feel like whoever they're abusing deserves it because they're to blame. The other person, their victim, is to blame. Therefore, they are unleashing the discipline or the reaction or the whatever they think, the consequences that they think we deserve. And it's like, no, you are not my consequence. That's what they don't understand. Consequences are not another person unjustly handing out what they think is fair. Like, that's not a consequence to who we are. That's a delusion of the narcissist, of their power over other people and their righteousness over other people. It's yeah, so horrible. So you guys, the reason I want to talk about this blame game, you guys, let me see, you guys, there's some more comments. Diva says, thank you, Donna. It does get better once you get away from those toxic people. Exactly. But here's the thing, you guys, I want to warn all of us, anybody who's watching, about. We tend to adopt some of the characteristics of the narcissist from having been with them, from having been shell-shocked by them, from having been submersed in their delusion. We had to create and behave in a way, create ourselves in a way to defend ourselves, to exist in their delusion, right? And the only way to do that is then we start to adopt some of their characteristics. And one of those characteristics that will absolutely ruin our life is if we adopt the blame game ourselves. And I will get to that. The reason I want to talk about that is because, at first we're defending ourselves from the narcissists blaming us, right? First we probably take it. We're like, oh yeah, okay, I'm wrong, and I'll try to change, and I'll never do that again, and I'll watch it next time, and I'm not, so we bend to the narcissist. But then we find out we can't bend enough to the narcissist. Like, absolutely nothing we do is right. And even if we did one thing right one day, the next day that exact same thing that we did is now wrong, because they change the rules on us constantly. So now we're in defensive mode, and we're like, no, I didn't mean to do that. No, how come you said that this was okay last week, but now you're saying it's not okay this week? we end up defending ourselves, right? So we build up these tactics to protect ourselves. Protective means, against the narcissist. Now, when we are in that state of defense so much with the narcissist, we start to allow the blame game to start entering into our psyche. And I'll explain part of that. It's sort of like we're going through, the 5 stages of grief. There's like a 5 stages of rejection that happens, or 5 stages of abuse, recovering from abuse that happens when you leave the narcissist or when the narcissist rejects you. And I kind of look at it from the rejection point of view, because that is a really deep hurt, a really deep stab for most people, is the feeling of rejection or abandonment. And that will happen at the end of an abusive relationship. Either one, because you felt rejected the entire time you were with the narcissist and you finally leave, or 2, you have this future that you thought you were going to have with the narcissist, and then they discard us, and so you leave, they leave, and you are left feeling rejected. Either way, you're going to have to deal with this rejection. And part of it, the first step probably is sadness, right? Because you felt rejected, you like abandoned. You're sad that you don't have this future anymore. You don't have this relationship anymore. You're missing things that was good maybe in the relationship. Maybe not great, but it was like, well, at least I wasn't alone, so now you're lonely and you're feeling sad. Then you start to feel angry, right? So these are some stages that we go through, and it's so similar to the stages of grief. You start to get angry. You're like, you know what, the heck with that jerk. And, he or she treated me like this, and they, hurt me in this way, and they're flaunting their happy life in front of me. And you get angry. You're like, what the heck? Why are you such a jerk? But then you go back to being defensive. And you're like, it wasn't my fault that you did this. And a lot of it, you're going to find out you did not deserve what the narcissist did. Absolutely. And you're going to find that a lot of it now that you took responsibility for, you should not ever have taken the responsibility for. And that's when you start to go, hey, yeah, it wasn't my responsibility to make sure all the dishes were clean all the time. And then, just because you left a cup out and you forgot it was yours, now you're mad at me. We start to get defensive looking back at how the relationship was and how badly they treated us. But then when we get defensive, we start to blame, right? We start to go, it was their fault. And it's true. It's really good to see what part was not our responsibility. What part of this relationship was not ours to take responsibility for. Their anger is not ours to take responsibility for. Their frustration at us is not our responsibility. It is their responsibility to choose how they behave with that frustration, how they react with that frustration, right? So you guys, I'm just talking about these stages that we go through after we leave an abusive relationship. And a lot of it is similar to the grieving process. But here's the thing, at the end of the grieving process, the 5 stages of grief is acceptance. Okay, acceptance. And if we cannot reach that point after we leave an abusive relationship, or after we get out of one, or we're discarded, if we cannot get to that point of acceptance, and I'll explain acceptance a little bit further, because there's a very important step of acceptance that we have to implement in ourselves. If we don't get to that point of acceptance, we're gonna stay in the other 4 stages. We're gonna stay sad, angry, defensive, blaming. We're gonna stay there, and we're gonna repeat that cycle over and over in our life. And that's how the blame game destroys our life, is if we get caught in it and we repeat it, going through this cycle, dealing with having the after effects of the abuse of the blame game the narcissist played on us. if we get stuck in that cycle, we're not going to be able to move forward. We're not going to be able to have healthy relationships. We're going to become like the narcissist. I'm not saying we're going to be the narcissist, but we're going to become a lot like them in this sense, where we start to blame shift. We don't take responsibility for our actions and our reactions. We don't take responsibility for our own feelings. That's why a lot of times if we're carrying baggage from a previous relationship, and then we try to get into another relationship, we carry that baggage with us, right? If we're still blaming, and if we're still feeling defensive, if we're still feeling angry from the previous relationship, guess what? You're going to carry that into your next relationship, whether that person is going to deserve it or not. And that's how we become like the narcissist. And I don't want that to happen. Here's the good news. We can change that, because we can see who we really are. We actually introspect. We actually examine ourselves. We actually know there are things about ourselves that we don't like and we want to fix. So I just wanted to make sure we don't fall into this trap, this cycle of a blame game and get stuck there, because then it's going to ruin our life. It's going to ruin our next relationship. It's going to ruin so much of our time. And we don't want to give any more time to this, right? We don't want to give any more time to the destructive, crazy town that the narcissist had created. We got out of there, and we can leave it behind. We don't have to take any part of that with us anymore. Well, you guys, if you're listening to just get the highlights there and the main points and the teaching, you got it. The rest of this, we're going to continue talking about it. And I want to catch up with comments here, because a lot of comments are coming through. So you guys, let me see what you're doing or what you're saying here. I'm sorry, I'm just going to scroll a little bit. Donna says, oh my gosh, you did. That's absolutely fantastic. So proud of you to get away and go no contact to this. Got the knowledge of the knowing, but I've stayed, unfortunately. I'm wanting out now. Oh, okay. So Donna, good luck to you. And, be careful as you're getting out, because you never know how crazy angry they might get. Just prepare, to be safe. I don't know if you're, well, not ex, your current, I guess, the person you're trying to leave is abusive physically, but be prepared for the storm of yelling and angry words and cursing and all that, but get out of there. Anyway, Agriculturist says, today's title reminds me of that Taylor Swift song, Look What You Made Me Do. Well, text fits better for us survivors, though. Oh, yeah. You know what? That I don't like that song because of those stupid lyrics. I just was like, wow, when I heard those, and I haven't even heard the whole song. I just caught bits of it when I was in a department store or whatever, wherever I was, they were playing the song. And I was like, what the heck? Look at what you made me do. That is a total narcissist move right there. It's so horrid. And that's how they see it. They see it as, you made me do this. You made me hit you. You made me lose my cool. You made me lash out at you. No. Even in those moments, they have control over their own choices. And here's the deal. We have control over our own choices. Even if somebody's rude to us, guess what? They didn't make us lash out at them. We decide to lash out at them. We decide to react to them, or we decide not to react to them and just ignore them and walk by. So that is the thing. We have the last stage that we have to reach, you guys, after leaving an abusive relationship, after you go through the 5 stages of grief. The last stage is acceptance. But acceptance also includes reconciliation with yourself. Like, you can reconcile with yourself, like, this is what happened. I can accept that this happened. I don't like that it happened. Now you can look back and see where you could have done things differently, what choices, different choices you could have made to not end up in those situations, right? Or choices that you could have made not to have stayed with the narcissist, not to have stayed in an abusive relationship longer than you had to. Like when the first indication of abuse was coming, it's like, oh yeah, okay, this is the acceptance. Now I can accept that. Wow, I did see that, but I ignored it. I can accept responsibility for that part that I did, which is I ignored it, or I cared, and why did I ignore it? Because I cared so much for the other person. I wanted to give them a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance. Now that you can see it, you can accept, like, okay, that's a part of me that I might need to change, right? So that's the good part about at the end of the grieving, of the 5 stages of grief, or the 5 stages of anger, or 5 stages of recovery. At the end, you have to accept where you were and where you are now. You can reconcile the things that you did wrong, your part in it, your responsibility. No matter what the narcissist did, we still have choices. We still have a choice to stay or to go, how we're going to react. Even, oh my gosh, yeah. Let me go into some of these other comments, you guys. I have to back up a little bit, so you guys, let me just, oh yeah. Okay, Donna says, I hope so. She's hoping to get out soon. It's been absolutely exhausting. I'm also an addict. I've got to start staying strong. Oh yeah, you have to take care of that, your addiction. But you're not going to be able to give up your addiction if you stay in a toxic relationship. In fact, it probably drives you more towards the addiction. Matrana, hi, good to see you. Oh, I'm sorry, you were here before. It's Crazytown. Okay. I'm no longer with my ex-narc. Yes, I was raised by my narc mother. Then I also married a covert narc. I think the covert narcs are so horrible. The overt ones, of course, are, blatantly abusive, but the covert ones really screw with your mind. They mess with our our psyche. They mess with us. Mike says Taylor Swift grade A narc. Ooh. You know what? I look at performers and yeah, it's their lifestyle, how can they live this lifestyle? It takes probably an extreme amount of control and humility to not become a narcissist. Diva says, keep watching these videos and educating yourself while you devise an exit strategy. Yes. V Wolf, good to see you. She says, he told me all the exes were crazy and stalked him. Yep. Because you see, that's that blame game. They don't take responsibility. They're going to say how the other person was the crazy one. And they, of course, did everything right. The narcissist did everything right. And all their exes were the ones that caused the demise of their relationship. Said that his ex-wife became a lesbian and was cold to him. He was telling his friends how normal I was, as if I was his saving grace. Yes, and that's what they do with the new supply for a while. They make you feel like you're safe because you're not like their ex, but then they will start treating you the way they treated their ex. Agriculture says, had to meet my narc last week. Never been so calm about this. I even looked at him and saw his inner ugliness shine through. Wow, that is so awesome, agriculturist. I'm so proud of you. That is such a huge sign of healing, that you can meet with them and feel calm still, because you know what? Once you see the truth and once you stop romanticizing and fantasizing about how good it was with them and denying all the bad stuff, once we step out of that crazy town, once we step out of that fantasy world that they create, which is a total crazy town, by the way, because the fantasy is what draws us in. But here's the thing. You're so right. When you meet with them after that, you don't feel pulled into to their craziness anymore. You don't get pulled into their emotional roller coaster anymore. Danielle says, my ex-narc, also father of my almost 3-year-old daughter, is getting married in Mexico this weekend. Let me tell you, the new wife is going to get exactly what you got, and it's not good. It's just not good. You might want to watch my other video that says stop imagining life is perfect for the narcissist and the new supply. I'll try to put a link for that as well in here. But that's what we do. We tend to think, oh my gosh, I'm here, I'm by myself. They get to move on. They have this chance at a wonderful, beautiful life with a person who loves and adores them and is serving them and treating them like a king or a queen, or, yeah, the new supply might do that. But here's the thing. A lot of times the new supply, how do I put this? The new supply may not be a narcissist themselves, but the new supply will break. The new supply will, go crazy after some time in Crazytown and unleash onto the narcissist. I was just listening to somebody about that recently. I'm trying to remember who it was. Oh, they were wondering. Oh, they were talking about this. Okay, it was a viewer who wrote in and asked about their ex, who is, I think, 49 or something like that, right? Who is now with their new supply, who is 29. So 20-year difference. And was asking me or telling me that the new supply has daddy issues. And do I think this, I think they're going to get married. I'm not sure. But she was asking, do I think this is going to work out? And I'm like, first of all, people with daddy issues may latch on to an older person, or mommy issues, right? A younger man, much older woman. They'll latch on to a parent figure in the opposite sex, right? And then for a while, it soothes a need in them. But what will happen is, as they get older, and usually I think it kind of happens in their 30s, because people come into themselves when they reach their 30s. And they know who they are, at least start to know who they are. They start to know what they like, what they don't like. They start to become their own person. And when this happens, the narcissist is going to be in for a huge shock, that this person is no longer serving in this servant role. This new supply or new spouse or whoever they are is no longer going to play the role of step stool to them, or welcome mat to them. So they're going to unleash onto the narcissist, don't ever treat me this way again. I know who I am. And they're going to start putting up, they're going to stand up for themselves. And that's going to, just blow up their crazy, fake fantasy happy world, right? So you guys, okay, let me look at some more comments here before I get too far behind. I already am. Sorry, you guys. My ex-narc, also father. Okay. Diva says, I agree. I always found her to be fake and superficial. I guess the new one. Crystal says, agree, yay. Mine is considered handsome, but same here. I see the true self, the ugly, when I see him now. Isn't that so true? Like, when you can see what's inside of people, you're not so easily fooled. You're not like, oh, yeah, I'm just mesmerized by your beauty. In fact, you're like, oh, how disgusting. I don't even, you look at them and you see how swarmy, cringy, it kind of makes you feel cringy, actually, to see that they put on this facade of beauty to attract people, like almost, is it a spider? No, something that like catches, I guess, catches you in their web, and then the ugliness comes out and they devour you, they destroy you, and we know that the destructive ugliness that's on the inside that devours and destroys. And that's what we see when we're around these, people who may seem attractive on the outside. Yep. Once we see the truth, the great thing is we can take that with us. We can take that ability to see red flags, that ability to know when someone's putting on a show, when someone is being fake, when someone is not genuine, of course, right? Yeah. And then we're able to see really much deeper inside of them. We see their little mannerisms and how they're looking at people, and how the little snide comments are no longer dismissed, right? We don't dismiss those anymore. We see these as huge red flags into their personality. Yeah, you guys, great comments here. Let me see. Donna says, it shows so clear. I feel for the new supply. Pity them. I've not gotten pity. Anyone who doesn't care about me. Oh, wait. I'm not gonna pity anyone who doesn't care about me anymore. That's right. You know what? If they don't, yeah. Yep. We don't need, yeah. Don't even give them another second thought. If they don't care about you and they're still bad mouthing you, smearing you, the heck with them. You don't need to worry about where they are. Sadly enough, you know, they're going to cause their own demise. They're going to continually repeat the destruction that's in their life. And that's not our responsibility. You guys, let me get back to that. The blame game has to do with taking responsibility. And a lot of times I talk about boundaries, you guys, and here's a huge boundary. Knowing what's theirs and knowing what's ours, right? Knowing what's theirs and knowing what's mine. So is it your responsibility to make sure the narcissist is happy and comfortable and not upset and not troubled and feeling secure? No, that's not your responsibility, right? Is it your responsibility, though, in how you react towards the narcissist, in your own mental health, your own feelings? Like if you're feeling jealous, are you responsible for that? If you're feeling jealous of the new supply, yes, it is our responsibility for how we are feeling. That's why we need to see the truth. That's why it helps to watch these things, and instead of making up stories to make ourselves more jealous of the new supply, we should be grounded in reality, knowing that there's no way the new supply is doing great and is happy. They may act happy in front of the camera and in front of people, you know, the public, for a while, but we know the truth. We know what happens behind closed doors, and that's exactly what's happening there. So are we responsible if we're feeling jealous? Yes. Are we responsible if we're feeling resentful? Yes. You know, we're responsible for our own feelings, but we're not responsible for what the new supply does or what the narcissist is doing. We're not responsible at all for how they're feeling or what they're doing. Agriculturist, I even noticed how he reacted just those seconds too late. For example, when there was a joke, as if he had to wait for the reaction of others, if he should laugh or not. Perhaps this is the case. Yeah, right? So you do start to notice these little personality traits that before we just kind of like, oh, that's just their, you know, the way they are, and we write it off. But what you want to do is go, okay, is there a pattern here? Are there other things that they're showing to indicate that they're insecure, that they're trying to imitate others, right? So we start to collect and pay attention to these mannerisms that they have, that they show from time to time. Donna says, it's a bad world. These people are going to kill our personalities. I don't want that. No, and there, you guys, by the way, that's the responsibility I want to talk about. They can try and destroy our personality. And I want to say it's our responsibility, but it's more than that. It's our power. It is our strength to build our own personality, build our own worth, build our own values, okay? They cannot take that away from us. They can try, and they probably, you know, like stealing and robbing somebody, they can be effective for a while, but then it's up to us, our responsibility, our power, our control, within our control, to keep our personality, to improve our character, right? It's within our power. So that's what I want to tell you about the blame game. Do not give into this blame game and say, well, I am the way I am because of the narcissist. Well, here's the deal. Yes, the narcissist hurt us. Yes, the narcissist took advantage. Yes, the narcissist abused. And I am shell shocked. And yes, that came from that experience with the narcissist and the narcissist themselves, right? But what we do with it now, how we heal from it, how we get stronger, whether we accept bad behavior coming from ourselves, that is up to us. Don't stay in that blame game because it will destroy you. It will destroy your relationships. It will destroy your oh my gosh, it will destroy your life and ruin your life. And I don't want that for you guys. Oh my gosh, V Wolf, I just saw this. Scroll down far enough. Thank you so much. V Wolf just gave me a donation. Oh my gosh, I forgot to share with you guys a happy this week that happened for me. And that was somebody got onto my website and gave me a donation from there. So thank you so much for doing that. You know, I was like, wow, that hadn't happened. That was my first, right, donation through the website. So I appreciate that so much, you guys. Let me go down here a little bit more. So thank you, V Wolf. I appreciate that. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but YouTube, whatever we make through YouTube, they take 40%. Yeah, I was like, what? 40%? I heard it. And then some people had made donations before, and I noticed that they gave me only 60% of whatever was donated through YouTube. And same thing with advertising. Whatever advertising income we get, YouTube takes 40%, which, you know what, they set it up, they set the platform, and this is what they take. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying they take this. But on my website, I found that the donation that was made there, the website only took 9%. So I got to keep 91% of what was donated. So you guys, I appreciate you guys. And if you do want to donate, I'm so grateful that you do this, and it so encourages me. I really want to be able to keep doing this. I really want to be able to make this a full-time thing, and you never know, so long as it continues to help people, I'm going to keep doing this, whether I get paid or not. But if you guys do want to donate, I would encourage you to go onto the website and do it there, because YouTube takes 40%, which is anyway, they get that from advertising anyway. YouTube is going to get paid no matter what. Okay, you guys, let me go through some of this. Diva says, I call them thirsty clowns now. Yep. Crystal says, Diva, you don't even know. I actually get grossed out chills when I think about all the years I spent with that clown. You nailed it. Clown. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys. Agriculture says, and if he notices you notice, if he notices you noticing, you get that stare. Oh, interesting. Yep. Donna says, they sure are. I'm with you all the way. So proud of you. Stay strong. You've proved that you are a good, strong person. Yeah. I wanted to say what V Wolf said in her thing. She says, have a happy narc-free weekend. Yes, please, everybody, have a happy narc-free weekend. I thought that was worth repeating. The stare, Diva says. Donna's like, yes, the stare. The mess and hate. Yeah, right? It's demonic. Dream, just me. Hi, good to see you. Says, thank you for your messages. You explained everything so well. Yes, the rejection. Even when we're together, I want my escape and I want it now. Yes. You guys, this is why I look back. Sometimes I forgot why the name of this channel, because I see it all the time, right? It just comes it's so normal. It's just part of my background now in my mind. But escape from Crazytown. I forget how crazy that town is. I've forgotten at times the crazy town that I had escaped. And it's so true. Every time I see stories or I read stories and I hear about them, I just go, oh my gosh, what total crazy town. It is. It's a total crazy town with these people. And if we can escape it, and I think we can, we absolutely can escape it. We just got to make better choices. I just want everybody to be able to get out of there. Let me see, you guys. What else? In German, okay, agriculture says, in German, I heard someone call the stare cod stare. Thought that was spot on and laughed like crazy. Because it's sort of like a fish, the way the fish stares, just, oh, weird, isn't it? Okay, I'm getting real. I don't want any fish staring at me. Diva says, same here, Vonda. When I unmasked my master narc dad, I could feel the hatred and evil. Isn't that true? So true. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I did a video way early on. It's one of my first ones. And it's about a criminal, actually. So it's in my criminal playlist. But it's about the mask, the narcissist mask. What is the narcissist mask? I think that's what it's called. And it's about this guy who, oh my gosh, he was psycho. I'm not even going to go into it. But he ends up hiring someone to kill his ex-girlfriend while he was with his new girlfriend, and convinced his new girlfriend to also hire someone to kill her ex-husband. This is how psychotic a narcissist is, to the point where they blame everybody else. He's blaming his ex-girlfriend, and he's convinced his new girlfriend to blame her ex-husband, to the point where they felt like, we're just going to kill them. We're just going to get rid of them. And this will solve our problems, because we don't have to take responsibility for ourselves. We just get rid of people we think are the problem in our life. And that is the blame game, the end game to the blame game, I've said before. And we got to get away from that. All right, you guys. Measure Twice. Hi, good to see you here. Says, you are caught in a spider's web with a narcissist. Escape is the only answer. Yes. Oh my gosh, you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of, what is that? Oh, okay, too many things are popping into my head. It reminds me of when people, or I don't know if I've seen this in movies or something, like where sci-fi movies or whatever they call them, I don't know, where they have a big old spider web and actual people are caught in it, but the only way to get out of it is to actually walk on other, sadly enough, other carcasses, right? And escape that way, because that's the route that the spider used that's not sticky. So, you know, okay, I got to walk on this route. But that makes me think of the gypsy curse, where people will say, I don't know if any of you guys have heard this, or I'm sure some of you have, but the new people who are to this channel may not. The gypsy curse, where the new supply has to come in to take the narcissist off of your hands, because otherwise you never would have gotten rid of the narcissist. They've now taken on the gypsy curse. Oh my gosh, sort of like a sacrifice, right? So it's horrible. It's horrible. Sorry about that. So Vonda says, I feel they're demonic. I slept with a devil. I know. That's the creepy thing, is that we can get so intimate with a narcissist and allow them so deeply into our life, and even share a bed with them. And if you watch any of my criminal narcissist on the playlist there, you'll see like all of these people, you know, their victims were intimate with them. And it's so scary that these criminals, narcissists, then feel that it's their right to take their partner's life, because their partner no longer wants to play this game with them, no longer is wants to be a part of their crazy town. And they, their thinking, of course, is, no, I'm going to destroy you because I cannot have this loose end. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. That just took a very dark turn there, you guys. So I'm going to move on. Antoinette, good to see you. Miranda, good to see you, says, I've seen my narc's eyes turn black, the pupil part, expand and turn completely black 5 times during his rage scenes. Definitely demonic as heck, isn't it? Absolutely. I don't know if you watched my last video. It was on this guy. It was about, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember the name of, I don't always remember the names of my videos, but it's my very last one that I just did. It was on, oh yeah, when narcissists rage. Yeah, this guy was total insanity, and his rage was captured on video, on the police interrogation video, and that's what I wanted to show, is like, this is what the rage looks like. Absolutely out of control, out of body craziness. Okay, you guys. Vonna says, my emotions are all over the place today. I'm crying, I'm mad, I'm embarrassed, I'm disappointed in myself and humanity. Oh, I'm so sorry, Vonda. You know, my hope is that you don't continue to carry that. That is the things that are making you cry, things that are making you mad, why you're embarrassed. You know what? Definitely go through all of these feelings. Maybe write them out so that you can sort them out and know what's going on. Or just cry and be mad, you know, but not at somebody. Do it in a controlled environment, of course, right? By yourself. But then once you get that out, and it's good to get those types of stresses out of your body. Once you do that, then you can revisit what's going on. So what you're doing actually, Vonda, today is very, very healthy, so long as you're not taking that out on somebody else. What I would suggest, though, is don't blame yourself. Like, as you're going through these emotions, the one emotion you should not take is blame for everything, okay? Yes, you can take some responsibility, and that's okay. And you can be disappointed in yourself. That's okay too. Like, yeah, it is disappointing that we did some of the things we did while we were with the narcissist. We made those choices, right? But realize that now you can make changes. Now you're aware. So that's a good thing. Diva says, Miranda, when I unmask my narc, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going backwards too far here. Measure twice says, make a secret exit plan. It can be violent, even deadly. It is very serious, a very serious situation. Yeah, as you exit, right? Diva says, same Matrona. I have many cluster bees on both sides of my family. Ugh, that's really rough. Crystal says, Diva, I had never seen him do that before, at least not with me. I imagine he must use it on other women. Women are dumb, like he was trying to do a smoldering look. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is weird that when people think that they can manipulate you by acting, you know, I kind of see it as acting. And so you're like, why are you acting with me? It's very, very creepy and weird. Rachel, hi, good to see you. Says Miranda Hall, I've seen the same in mine. Scary stuff. Oh my gosh, Vonda says, I want to unmask my mother to see her eyes. Oh, yeah, that wound from a parent is huge. I would suggest you watch some more of these videos, Vonda, because it's not really worth doing that. I can kind of see how doing that might bring some healing, but honestly, what I have discovered is the narcissist is not going to take responsibility anyway. And that's really our desire with unmasking, is that they would finally take responsibility for what they did to us and apologize and, you know, see it from our point of view. But narcissists can't do that. They don't see anything from other people's point of view. They don't. That's why they lack empathy. They cannot see or feel how you might have felt or how you might have seen things. Yeah. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. Oh, this is good. Donna says, I'm going to a refuge. 6 to 7 years. I need out. Don't know if I can go back to the start. He's someone else now, and I'm still me, though. Yeah, yeah. Diva says, oh, hold on, you guys. Yeah, it's true. Diva says, I have a lot of good friends and they are my family. Yeah, if your family is full of toxic people, you know, we can still have a relationship with them, but very distant and with very strong boundaries. Because if we have to see them for family get togethers and whatnot, and we just want to, I don't know, just keep peace, we can do that. But the people who then become family are going to be the ones we choose, right? The friends that we choose to let in. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Crystal says, oh, Vonda, it sucks, but you have no blame. You thought people were generally good. We all did, hun. Antoinette, I know. She says narcissistic relationship instead of ship. I've seen that a lot. And yeah, it is. That's what it is. Yeah, Vonda says, I told my dad I take no blame or credit for what he does when he threatened to kill himself when I confronted him. Oh my gosh, narcissists will do this. They do threaten. This is the crazy thing, I think, with narcissists. They will threaten suicide, but never actually harm themselves. I'm sorry. I guess there are a couple that might have, harmed themselves a little bit just to try to make it more credible that they are going to go through with this. But they have really no intention of committing suicide, except if they fall into such a rage that they lose complete control of their senses and accidentally end up killing themselves. Yeah, that can happen with a narcissist. Very, very crazy stuff. Diva says life is too short to be sad about narcs. Yes, it's better to laugh at them and run far, far away. Yes, Diva, so agree with you. And that's why I do look back and I'm like, good Lord, what the heck was that? And then you have to laugh because it's so ridiculous. Let me see. You guys, our time is coming to an hour, but I'm going to read some comments. I'm not sure. I'm just going to try to catch the ones that maybe we should address. Oh, wow. Yeah, Donna was talking about her friends who are addicts. Yeah, you don't want to remain, if you're an addict, well, you know what? You don't want to continue to have a relationship or stay around or surround yourself with people who have addictions and are doing or whatever they're addicted to in front of you or with you. They'll just pull you into the addiction and continue to do that. Yeah, it's very sad. I recently heard about somebody who died from an alcohol addiction, and he was only in his 30s. What I had heard is that he goes out a lot with his same circle of friends, and they all get smashed like every weekend, and they all have an alcohol addiction. And he actually did try, this person who ended up passing away about a month ago now. He did try to stop drinking, but then what happened was his friends all made fun of him for stopping. His friends all made fun of him and kind of teased him. And they weren't like, I can't imagine that his friends were mean about it. But you know how friends are. They're just like, oh, just teasing with you because whatever. They just pick on whatever. But that was enough for him to go back to drinking. And then a few months later, he passed away from alcohol poisoning. So you guys, yeah, be careful who you surround yourself with. Friends can be good, but they can also be destructive. And if you have destructive friends, you need to reassess why you're around destructive people and why you choose destructive people to bring them into your life. And I'm not saying that addicts or destructive people, self-destructive people are bad people. I'm just saying that they are not in a condition or position to help you, heal. So I'm just letting you know that. Matrona says, observe, don't absorb. I think that has to do with the narcissist. Okay, let me. Okay, you guys, this is, Diva said something here. I am grateful that I learned about this disorder, even if it was the hard way, because I was so gullible and innocent before. Now I understand there are sharks among us. Evil is everywhere. Yeah, but goodness also is everywhere. So, you know what? Make our path towards goodness. Yeah, Vonda says, all these videos I've watched on YouTube explain my soon-to-be ex-narc. Exactly. It is so freaky, isn't it? It is so freaky. Yes, you guys. I am so far behind in messages here, in comments. Measure Twice says, I was raised by a covert narc mom and a broken puppet dad. Then 20 years with malignant narc husband, free 7 years now, but the aftermath is complex PTSD and memory loss. Many helpful channels on YouTube. Yes. Vonna says, I tell myself that all the tears I cry on my pillow at night are saved by Jesus and he'll make me feel better. Yes. I agree with you. All right, you guys, let me see. We are winding down and boy, there were a lot of comments today, you guys. I'm sorry. I was probably getting to the point where I'm only going to be able to capture the first half hour of comments. Mike says, mine stalked and hoovered me because they want my apartment. Wow. Yeah, sometimes they go after the assets and they will not let go until they get it. Yeah. You guys, Michael says, Michael Mavis, hi, good to see you. What is a narc stalker? Sorry, y'all, I have no idea what this stream is about. I just came here because it was in my YouTube recommends. Oh, okay, Michael, I don't know if you're still here, but if you have a narcissist stalker, yeah, it's a narcissist who won't let go because they believe that they're entitled to something that you have. It's also possible that they feel like they own you and you're their possession, and if you had left the relationship and they feel like if they cannot have you, then nobody else can have you, and they will stalk you. It's very, very creepy, scary, and dangerous. Vonda, last night, a sort of mutual friend of myself and my ex-narc sent me a message wanting to talk about the ex-narc. I just had a feeling the ex-narc was putting the friend up to it, so I blocked her. Whew, good for you, good for you. Donna Wilkins, Italian stallion in Wales. I don't know what that means. I must have missed a message back there somewhere. You guys, I'm just gonna scroll through. We are at an hour and I'm going to wrap it up. So glad that you guys made it. Michael says, I dated a narcissist in college. I remember the gaslighting and being told my observations were wrong. And it turned out she was cheating with multiple married men and professors as well. Oh my gosh, what a brain screw, right? Like, that's why I say that this gaslighting, and that was probably somewhat of a covert narcissist you were dealing with at first, Michael, because they're the worst at the gaslighting. They're the worst. They will do the worst mind screw to us. It's just insane. And we come out of it like, wait, who am I? Where was I? Do I even know what's right and wrong anymore? Like, we just doubt everything about ourselves after we leave somebody like that. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, I like this. Rachel says, I ran across a list of how horrible I ended up feeling about myself after only 2 years of marriage to him. Wow. So even just 2 years into the marriage. And you said you had written awful things. My own friends and family told me that they had noticed I was no longer myself. Yep. Yep. You guys, let me go. I wish I could read all of your comments on here, because these are really, really great comments. So you guys, I hope that this happy crappy hour has helped you. I'm going to let you wrap up a few of your comments here with each other. I hope that that you're getting stronger, you're getting healthier, you're finding your value again. I hope that you're able to see clearly, and I wish you so many blessings. Remember that this blame game that they started with you, you don't need to continue it in your life. You don't need to adopt that horrible, terrible habit and horrible, terrible trait that the narcissist used on you, used on me. We can let go of that. We don't need to blame people for things that are not theirs, and we need to take responsibility for things that are ours. And if we do that, our life will be so much better. It'll be so rewarding. You guys, blessings to you. Have a great week, and I will see you next week.